Hey, welcome, Easter friends. Thank you for your willingness to go on this 7-mile Emmaus Road journey with Jesus. My hope is that this journey will help you get to know Jesus better. Matthew, who was one of Jesus' followers and one of the 4 who wrote an account of the life of Jesus, writes about an incident in Matthew chapter 8. In the midst of a violent storm, Jesus commands the winds to stop, and they do. And Matthew writes these words. He says, the disciples were amazed. Who is this man, they asked. Even the winds and waves obey him. And I think that's a great question. Who is this man? That's the question that the people who came into contact with Jesus in the first century asked. And it's a relevant question for us 21st century types as well. Why? Because Jesus hasn't gone away. Normally, when someone dies, their impact on the world immediately begins to recede. For example, nearly 20 years ago, our world had Bob Hope, Johnny Cash, and Steve Jobs. Now, 20 years later, we have no Jobs, no Cash, and no Hope. Yeah, pretty lame joke. With Jesus, though, things are different. Jesus' impact was greater 100 years after his death than during his life. It was greater 500 years after his death. In fact, 2,000 years later, he has more followers in more places than ever before. The question is why? Why is Jesus history's most familiar figure? Why is his impact so immense? One Yale historian writes, regardless of what anyone may personally think or believe about him, Jesus of Nazareth has been the dominant figure in the history of Western culture for almost 20 centuries. The fact remains that 2,000 years after the birth of Jesus, every time any human being anywhere on the planet opens a calendar or a computer, he or she is reminded that Jesus Christ is the hinge of human history. For example, Nero died in the year of our Lord, AD 68. Napoleon, emperor of the world, died in the year of our Lord, AD 1821. Joseph Stalin died in the year of our Lord, AD 1953. And here's my question. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange that every ruler who has ever reigned is dated in reference to the life of Jesus? So, who is this man who claimed to be one with God the Father, who claimed to have the power to forgive sin, who claimed to hold the keys of life and death, who claimed to have the capacity to change our lives today and for all eternity? Who is this man? Now, to close out mile 1, I want you to say a very simple prayer. Maybe you do it a few times every day. And here's the very, very simple prayer. Jesus, if you're really who you say you are, would you reveal yourself to me? Would you open my eyes and my heart to see you? Say that prayer, friends, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for mile 2.